Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Darshan Negi Vlogs. Friends, today we'll talk about Java. Friends, Java is a very important language. It is used in more than 3 billion devices worldwide. In addition to this, Java is also number one language in app development. Other languages are there such as C++, Python, HTML5, etc. Friends, if you want more details of these, they are available in my ebooks, whose links are available in my blog darshannegi.blogspot.com. So friends, without wasting time, let's start Java. Friends, Java is a computer language. It is an object-oriented language. Let's talk about few definitions. First, object. Object is an entity which has certain characteristic and behavior. There are many things to which we can call them as an object. For example, chair, table, even human being. We can keep them in the category of objects because they have certain characteristics and behavior. And collection of such similar object is called class. Another definition of object is, which is actually a technical definition. Object is a closed unit which has function and data within it, and function operates on data. Data is nothing but the values of different type. Data can be a character, it can be a number, it can be combination of both, etc. Now, some of the data types which we use in Java are given in this table. As there are different kind of values, we use different kind of data types. Some of the data types are int, char, long, float, double, string, etc. Int stand for integer. You can see the example also like 1 minus 34, etc. Same with char stand for character. So anything which is in single quotes is a character. Long is again integer type value. Its range is more than int type. Then next is float and double. Float and double both are used for the real values. Double has more range and it can be used for more significant decimal digits, as you can see in the example. String is set of characters. So any value which is inside inverted comma is called a string value. Let's talk about operators. We use binary operators in Java, namely plus, minus, multiplication, division. These are binary operators. Percent is also there. So why they are called binary operator? Because we are using two variables to use these operators. For example, a plus b, a into b, a minus b, etc. Variables are memory location or container which stores a value. Now, there are some rules of writing variable. Whenever you write a variable, you should start with alphabet. You should not start with a number. Then you can use only one special character, that is underscore. Other special characters cannot be used. Some of the valid variables are given there as number 1, num1, abc1, val underscore 1. One number, one num or one abc are not acceptable, as they violate the rules of writing a variable. Next is declaration of variable. How to declare a variable? Actually, you cannot use a variable in Java unless you declare it. First, you need to declare a variable, then only after that it can be used in the program. The syntax of a variable is you need to write data type, then space followed by variable name, semicolon. So as you can see in the example, int is a data type, space, then number is the variable name, semicolon. So that is declaration of variable number of int type, that is integer type. Number equal to 10, here we are assigning the value 10 to variable number. Then you can see second example, we have declared a variable pi of float type. then we assign a value 3.4 in it, and so on. Then there are some other variables of different data type. For example, we have used ch1 variable of char type, real one of double type, real one, real two. Here we are in example 5, we are declaring two variable, real one and real two of double type in the same statement. Next, example 6 is a variable name of string type. In string type variable, we can store a string value. Next is reference variable, referencing variable. Referencing variable is nothing but using variable to read a value or to assign a value in it. So as you can see in example 1, we have declared a variable number of int type, then we have assigned a value 10 in variable number. Next is Java statements. The first Java statement we have used here is system out println. The purpose of this statement is to display a value or values. It can be used to display a message also. As you can see in example 1, we have written system out println, system.out.println like this, and after that round bracket start, and within inverted comma we write a statement like hello Ashwin, how are you, inside inverted comma, then followed by bracket close, semicolon. So that is the syntax or way of writing system out println. It displays this message, hello Ashwin, how are you. So that you can see in the output. In example 2, we are displaying hello as a string value. So you can see the output hello. In example 3, we have used three variables, a and b, to initialize value. Then in C, we are finding sum of these two variables, and through system out println we display the variable C. Here we are displaying string value sum equal to followed by the value stored in variable C. So then you can see the output sum equal to 30. Sum equal to is the string value which is inside inverted comma, and 30 is the value which has stored in C, which is actually sum of A and B. Like this, there is example 4. Here we have assigned a value to a variable number 1, and then we are displaying its value. Next is assignment statement. The purpose of assignment statement is to assign a value to a variable. So there are few examples given over there. A equal to 10, B equal to 20, like that. A equal to 10 means we have assigned value 10 in A. In second example, B equal to 20, we have assigned 20 to B. Then in third, C equal to A plus B, we have assigned A plus B to C, means we calculate A plus B and then the resultant value is stored in C. D equal to B square minus 4AC, here same way we calculate the value B square minus 4AC and the resultant value is stored in D. Clearly the values of these variables is kept and the formula is calculated and the resultant value is stored in the variable on left hand side. Next is area of a circle, that is also a formula. Then there is an example of a program, small program. Here three subjects values are assigned, then the total is calculated and the value, the sum is displayed, total marks that is displayed. Next is if statement. The purpose of if statement is we test a condition, based on the condition then a statement or group of statement is followed and executed. As you can see in the example of this syntax 1, syntax, if conditional expression statement block. So if a condition is satisfied, that is true, then the statement block is performed. For example, this as example 1 is given here, we are testing whether age is greater than or equal to 18. That means if the person's age is either greater than 18 or equal to 18, then display you are eligible to vote. So that is done through system out println statement. So if the person's age is over and above 18, then only the message is displayed, you are eligible to vote. So here we are testing the person's age with 18, means we are comparing age with 18. Next is if else statement. The purpose of if else statement that we test the condition first, then based on the statement, if the condition is true, then statement is block 1 is performed, else means otherwise the next statement block is performed. Means if condition is true, then perform a statement block, else perform another statement block. Else means otherwise. As you can see in example 1, here we are comparing age with 18, means if the person's age is greater than or equal to 18, means either if the person's age is 18 or above, then display, that is system out println, you are eligible to vote. Else means otherwise system out println, you are not eligible to vote. Meaning is, if the person's age is 18 or above, then display, you are eligible to vote, otherwise you are not eligible to vote. So we have used the coding here, if else statement here. Now same way, this greater among two number, here we read the value of a and b first through the screen, and then we compare a and b. So here, if a greater than b, then system out println a, else system out println b. That means if the value stored in a is greater than the value stored in b, then display, that is system out println a, display a, else means otherwise, system out println b means display b. So this is how it goes. Next is nested if else statement. Nested if else statement is used when we are using a condition inside another condition. So as you can see in the syntax, if condition number 1 is true, then you are performing a statement, else means otherwise. If, then you are testing another condition that is inside else, then you are performing a statement, else statement 3 or block 3. Example of nested if is given over there. Suppose there are three values we are storing variable a, b and c. So for a to be greatest, a should be greater than b and a should be greater than c also. So if a greater than b, then we test whether if is greater than c also. If both conditions are true, then we are displaying a is greatest. So for a to be greatest, both conditions should be true. So that is nested if statement. Then there is one more example to find out the smallest among three number. So same way this can be explained. First we are reading value of a and b. Wait, that is another code. We were here. So this was a question. This was a problem we are discussing about. So here we are testing if a is less than b, then we are testing if a is less than c also, then only a is smallest. Means for a to be smallest, it should be less than b and less than c also. Same way we have used the condition for b also. For b to be smallest, b should be less than a and b should be less than c also, then only b is smallest. Same way, if c is less than a and if c is less than b also, then only c is smallest. So this way we have used nested if statement here. Next is switch statement. The purpose of switch statement is to select different cases based on the value of the variable. So as you can see in the syntax, we are using switch variable and then followed by multiple cases. So based on the value of the variable, a particular case is performed. So let's explain it through the example. As you can see in this example, here we are reading two number a and b first from the screen. Then we are reading the choice. Choice can be either 1, 2, 3 or 4. The value of choice is either 1, 2, 3 or 4. So if the value of choice is 1, that means we want to calculate sum of two number. So case 1 is performed. Then we calculate the sum of the two number, we store it in C, then we display the value of C and then break. The purpose of break statement is to terminate switch statement, because at a time only one case must be performed. Means if we have chosen for sum, then we need not to calculate difference, product and quotient. Same way, suppose we have selected the choice as case 2, means if the value of the choice is 2, then case 2 is performed, then there we find the difference, then we display the difference, then we break. We move out of the switch statement. Same way, if you suppose we want to find out the product, so we read the value of choice as 3, then we find out the product and then we display the value C, which actually stores the product of two number, and then we move out of the switch statement. Same way case 4 is performed. Now last statement is default statement. Default statement is used when in case user enters the value of choice which is not either 1, 2, 3 or 4. And suppose user entered 10, but case 10 is not there. So in that case default value is executed and it displays the message wrong choice. Similarly, there is another example. of going to different directions, so that you can go through. Next is for statement. The purpose of for statement is, before for statement, let me explain you what is loop. Loop is repetition of statement. So sometime there are some situations when we need to repeat a statement. For example, suppose you want to read the 40 students name of a class. So we just use the seen statement or get statement to read the student's name, and we put it inside for statement, and this way we execute that seen statement 40 times, and this way we read 40 students name. So as you can see, the for statement there, the syntax of for statement is for followed by a bracket start, then initialization, semicolon, text expression, semicolon, increment, decrement, expression, bracket close, then followed by statement or group of statements. So in for which is inside bracket, there are three statements. Initialization means the initial value. Test expression means here we are testing a condition. Then increment or decrement means we may increment the value of variable. So you can explain through the example as given there. So there in the example you can see that we have used a variable I, and we have initialized it with the value 0. Then I less than 10 is a condition, and I plus plus is increment. So system out println statement inside for statement, and actually this statement is executed 10 times, because the value of I start from 0 up to 9. 10 won't be considered because the value of I should be less than 10. So value of I ranges from 0 to 9. So that is for statement. So let me explain this for statement a little bit more. How this statement is executed, let me explain you. Initially value of I is 0, and 0 less than 10 is tested, it is true, then it displays the value of I through system out println, so it displays I equal to 0. It displays I equal to 0. Then due to I plus plus, value of I is increased by 1, and remember initialization is done once only. Then 1 less than 10, that is tested, which is true. Then next time it displays I equal to 1. Then again value of I is incremented by 1, it becomes 2. Then 2 less than 10 is tested, which is true. Then again through system out println it displays the value, that is it displays I equal to 2. Then value of I is incremented by 1, it becomes 3. 3 less than 10 is tested, which is true. Then again display the value of I as I equal to 3, and so on. So this way it displays I equal to 0, I equal to 1, I equal to 2, I equal to 3, I equal to 4, and up to I equal to 9. So this is how this for statement function. So this can be understood through the exam problem 1, that is to generate natural number series. So this for statement and system out println statement, the combination of these two statements generate a natural number series from 1 to 100, because the value of I ranges from 1 to 100. Means initially value of I is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on up to 100. And for different value of I, system out println statement will be performed, and that means for I equal to 0 it is performed once, then for I equal to 1 it is performed again, then for I equal to 2 it is performed again, and so on. This way system out println display is executed 100 times. Then same way we can generate odd number series. Here you can see that it start with I equal to 1, because odd numbers start with 1, and we goes up to 100, and I plus equal to 2 means the difference is of 2. That means each time value of I is increased by 2. Then initially it is 1, then 3, then 5, and then 7, and so on. So it generates odd number series. Next is while statement. While statement is another loop statement in Java. As you can see the syntax, while text expression, then statement. So while means as long as the text expression is true, then you perform the statement or group of statements. So as you can see in the example, here we are testing while I is less than equal to 100. Means as long as the value of I is less than equal to 100, display the value of I equal to followed by value of I. So this this system out println statement is executed, it displays I equal to followed by the value of I. The plus given over there is just for combining I equal to followed by value of I. The purpose of I plus plus to increase the value of I by 1, so that next value of I is taken. So in this initially the value of I is 1, then after the loop the value of I become 2, 3, 4, and all these values are also displayed. Next is do while statement. The purpose of do while statement is same as there was for do while. The difference is in do while statement we test the condition later on. So as you can see in the example, here we are performing the same thing, means we are generating natural number series up to 100. Only difference is that we are testing the condition later on. There is normally a question is asked that is what is entry control loop and what is exit control loop. So do while is exit control loop because we test the condition later on after the loop, whereas while is entry control loop because we test the condition first before the loop, and the loop is not performed at all in case the condition is true in case of while statement. Fine. Then let's move to next statement, that is nested for. Nested for is for inside for. Sometime there are some examples or application there we need to use nested for statement. As you can see in example 1, so we have used one for statement inside another for. In example 2 also we have used one for statement inside another for statement. So as here you can see in the result that first time we have displayed 1 star, then next time we display 2 star, and then next time we display 3 star. Here in this case in first round of outer loop, the inner loop execute once, it displayed 1 star only. Then for second round value of outer loop is 2 and inner loop is executed twice, so it displayed 2 star. Then in the third outer round, the inner loop execute 3 times, it displayed 3 star. Then in fourth round the inner loop execute 4 times, it displays 4 star, and so on. This is how this statement works. So sometimes we need to use nested for statement. Same way we can use nested while statement also. So as here you can see that we had displayed the result here 1, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 like this. Here also in different rounds, in first round we display 1, in second round we execute inner loop twice, we display 1, 2, in third round we display inner loop thrice, then the values are 1, 2, 3 and so on. So that is while loop. Same way you can also use do while loop to perform this result. This is nested do while. Here also we are using one do while inside another do while. In nested while also we are using one while statement inside another while statement. This I am just explaining you the syntax and how to write example. Here we are not discussing the logic of the program. That's all. So students, I hope you have understood the concept. Here we have discussed various Java statements. So friends, if you find the information useful, please subscribe my YouTube channel, and also please follow my blog darshannegi.blogspot.com. And for more details, you can contact Virtual World Online Coaching. Phone number is given there. Also follow my blog Darshan Negi Vlogs. Thank you.